How's it going? This is Mark, castironstrength.com. What I'm doing right now is I'm making an update for the Lean Machine project. If you're not aware of what the Lean Machine project, maybe you're one of my YouTube watchers or two of you. If you don't follow my blog regularly on castironstrength.com, I'm kind of having a change of goals right now. I'm still training for strength, but it's not necessarily my main focus at the minute. My main focus at the minute is just trying to be less of a fat mess. So to those ends, I have been lean in the past, and I have lost weight in the past, and I've lost quite considerable amounts of weight doing different things. Like I've done low carb. I lived low carb for about 3 years, stayed fairly lean for about 3 years as well. Then when I cut for the 2012 IPF World Classic Championship, I used the what's it called, the fucking diet and fasting bullshit, Martin Berkham, the lean gain sort of thing. Basically it's fasting, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours eating sort of shit. And basically through this Lean Machine project, what I'm trying to show is that weight loss is purely calories in versus calories out. But number two, and the main thing that I'm trying to show with this project, is that it's actually the behavior that's the big thing with weight loss. It's sticking to things, building habits, sticking to habits, setting goals, achieving goals, and the positive kind of changes that happen through those processes. That's the key to losing weight. It's not about what macros you eat. It's not if you eat paleo or if you eat McDonald's. It's not really necessarily the content of your diet as regards where your food comes from, although that is obviously important. But the main thing when it comes to success or failure of diet is purely just behavioral. It's adherence. If you adhere to your weights program, you adhere to your conditioning program, and you adhere to your diet 100%, you will get the results you desire, guaranteed. There's no doubt about that. Where people don't get the results they want is because they don't adhere to their diet, they don't adhere to their training, and they don't adhere to their conditioning as well as they can. So I'm following like a week on week kind of blog to kind of update my process. Although with the way things have been in my work life at the minute, I haven't had the spare time to put into posting blogs, but I want to keep it regular, and that's why I'm doing this in a video format. So this is update number 4, I think. It could be wrong. I'll correct the title if it's wrong, but it's update number 4 or 5. And basically, to this point, I've set some goals. The first goal was just tracking my calories day in, day out. I'm now on day 27 of tracking my calories. Pretty much done that 95% now. I'm not quite the 100% adherence, but I'm doing pretty well at that goal. Goal number 2 was to get rid of the binging. So the last update, and this is the one that I'm following on from, if you look at like 2-3 weeks of kind of data from the logging the calories, you'd see that I actually had like 4,500, 5,000 calorie spikes on like a Friday or a Saturday or my cheat days, basically the days where I just let myself go and do whatever I want. And that actually pushed my week from being actually below my calorie targets. So my calorie target is 2,700, and it's based off wanting to be getting to an X amount of weight, X amount of time. I think it's 90 kilos, but it's done by the target is done by the MyFitnessPal app. I haven't actually set any targets yet as regards weight loss. But it's set the 2,700 calorie goal, which will be a deficit based off what it's set. So the 2,700 calorie goal, I've actually been below that probably 5 days out of 7, but the 2 cheat days actually pushed me into a calorie surplus for those weeks. So I'm trying to limit my cheat day to a half day, basically a meal and a night where I just do what I want, and then I'll stick to it 6 days out of 7. That is maybe 60% of the way there. My habits are improving, and I can definitely tell they're improving, but that's a goal that's going to be with me for another while longer. I've set a maximum of having 4 goals at a time. So goal number 3, which is the one I'm setting today via this video blog update, is what I'm going to call minimum dose. Minimum effective dose, and it refers purely to exercise. So my minimum effective dose for me, where I'm at, is going to be 3 strength sessions in a week, and I'll definitely do, regardless of what's happening with work, family, life, whatever. I will get a minimum of 3 strength sessions in a day. It's not really a huge goal for me to set because I train so well with weights. It's not really a problem. But regardless of what happens, I'm going to hit 3 weight sessions a week, and those are just going to be just strength sessions. Based around the squat, bench, deadlift. Obviously, being not currently. I don't know if I call myself a powerlifter anymore because I've not competed for like 2 years, but certainly I'm going to compete at some stage. But being a reformed powerlifter, shall we say, or someone who strength trains and has competed in powerlifting, I'm going to look to keep those 3 lifts up and train them to get stronger. So that my minimum dose for weight training is going to be that, and my minimum cardio dose, and this is the one that's going to be the big change, is like I've been physically active and walking a minimum of 3 to 4 miles a day, probably more. Some days walking upwards of 10, 12 miles. What I'm going to say is I'm going to start running again. Fuck. I could cycle, but cycling's just boring, and I'm not going to do it. Rowing's too hard for where I'm at, so it's not going to happen. For both my mental and physical state, rowing is just going to be too much high intensity work and it's going to interfere with my training. So what I'm going to do for minimum dosage is 2 times a week. I'm going to run. I'm going to start off with a 400 meter run twice a week, and then I'm going to go from there. I'm going to build it up systematically. Ideally, I think I'd like to get up to 2K runs. I think that would be probably more than enough for what I need. And then supplement with some kind of other cardiovascular activity as I go down the round. But my minimum effective dosage is going to be 3 weight sessions and 2 cardio sessions, which are going to consist of a 400 meter run, which is at a jog. It's going to be like a minute and a half of running. But that's going to be fine. That's just getting the behavior in. I'm not actually trying to become an endurance athlete. I'm not really trying to train to get fitter. I'm just doing it for the weight loss benefits. If you're wondering how I'm doing, actually on the weight loss, I've went from 111 kilos to 105.9, so just a shade over 5 kilos of weight loss in the month that I've been doing it. It's pretty much a month now. It's been dead easy. I've not really been trying. I'm still out of shape. I'm still fat, or fatter than I'd like to be. I'm not looking to be massively in shape, but I would quite like to have abs. It's almost a crime training this much without not having abs. I haven't seen them in quite a few years. Probably haven't seen my abs since I was 23, so about time maybe I'll have a look at them again, check they're still there. But yeah, I've lost 5 kilos, and to be honest, it's not been a struggle. It's been very, very easy. I've not actually changed my diet really, although my diet, see, the thing is, with a calorie counting is you will change your diet because you will see what you're eating on a day-to-day basis, and you'll see, wait a minute, that food is actually ridiculous. That's like 1,500 calories in a meal. Maybe I should choose something else or change something else. And voluminous foods are a big thing as well. Like for dinner today, I had 780 grams of chicken. I think it was 300 grams of chopped peppers and a jarred sauce. And all in all, I think it came in at like 900, 1,000 calories, which is like the same as a triple decker sandwich for something like Sainsbury's, where in the past I might have just went to Sainsbury's, grabbed the triple decker sandwich, like a 3 chicken sandwich on the way, because it's easy, tried that as a snack, and then went on. Whereas in fact I could add over a kilo of food that was actually less calories than that. So it will, tracking your calories will change your diet. Although I've not made a concerted effort to say, look, I'm eating this for breakfast, I'm eating this for lunch, I'm eating that for dinner. I haven't got that stage yet, and I've managed to lose just over 5 kilos. So it's fairly. And my exercise habits are probably worse than they were like 6-7 weeks ago, where I was doing a minimum of 2-3. I was walking more for one. Was probably doing slightly more cardio, and I was training a lot harder with the weights. I was probably doing 5 to 6 weight sessions, and was training much heavier than I am now. And the weight loss is coming reasonably easy. It does spike up with the weekend, and that's kind of the work on with goal number 2. But goal number 3 is just basically minimum dose. So sticking to a minimum of 3 weight sessions and a minimum of 2 cardio sessions, which are going to be 400-meter runs, which is nothing. But I've got to start somewhere. The last time I tried to start running, I tried to start too heavy. I started off with like 20 minutes. And being a big person who doesn't run, that just led to knee problems. So I'm not having that again. So I'm going to start off with twice a week, 400 meters. That's the goal. And stick to that for a while. So I'm now up to 3 goals. So I've got one more before I either decide that one of my goals has been accomplished and I add a new one, or I'm just going to stick to the 4 goals that I've set until I'm happy that 1 or 2 have been achieved and I can introduce new goals. So thanks for watching. The next Lean Machine project update is more than likely going to be a blog post, because I think it's easier to get across some of the information via blog post. Although a lot of people probably prefer video. It's easier to reference some things, like in the calorie counting one. I went through what is a calorie, how do you calculate the calories requirement for your body, like the Harris-Benedict formula, the sort of thing that's actually practical and it can be used as a reference, whereas I feel it's probably more difficult to use a video as a reference. If you feel differently, please comment. That's it. This is Mark, castironstrength.com, from the Lean Machine Project, signing out. Until next time, have a good one. Cheers.